please don't stay for the children. If that's literally the only reason you're staying, that's a terrible reason. I agree with this comment. Thank you for saying that. Okay, and by the way, this does not apply if you're in like a domestic violence situation. There's always, everything is contextual. There's money, there's safety, there's all these things. It's like if you cannot leave because of multiple reasons, if you cannot leave, this is not for you. This is not for you. This is for women who could leave husbands who treat them like crap, fathers who, this is for married single moms whose husbands really add nothing to the family, whose presence actually stresses out everyone, including the children, more than anything. You know, it's like a parent is supposed to give a kid a sense of security. And a lot of these fathers are doing literally everything but that. You got the whole family walking on eggshells around dad's mood. Uh-oh, daddy's in a bad mood. And now he just sucks the joy out of the room. And sometimes they don't even have to say a word. I call it quiet rage. My dad was a master of quiet rage. He didn't have to say anything. But, you know, kids are so intuitive. They pick up on energy. And I always knew, like, oh, better watch it now. And then also, even if he wasn't in a bad mood, knowing that he could explode at any moment was always a reason for us to be on edge around him, right? And so anytime, I didn't even live with my dad. I just saw him like every second weekend for like 2 days. And the man didn't do anything. He took us to like the McDonald's playground on Friday night. That was our fun. And then we would just watch TV all day, Saturday and Sunday. Football, which, you know, children just love watching football, right? So like the whole time, I mean, I would just play with toys upstairs by myself, which is also when I found a loaded pew-pew in his bedside table, because dad never thought, maybe I should not keep that in the house, or maybe I should, you know, hide it. Luckily, I was old enough to realize that like that was danger, and I associated with danger, so I didn't touch it. But I was curious about all the condoms right next to it. Anyway, just being with my dad 4 days a month was enough. I mean, because I'm not even going to go into all the other stuff he did. That was enough to seriously traumatize me. If that man had lived in the house with my mother and I had grown up with that man in our home, I would not be the person making these videos right now. I would honestly probably be dead. I would definitely not be someone who's happily married right now. I would be married to someone just like him. A big old king baby full of trauma that they won't heal or even deal with or admit that he had. So he passes all that trauma onto his children. A man so full of rage that he drinks every single day and has everyone around him walking on eggshells. A man who takes up all of the space in any room, all the air, so that you can barely breathe. Even if he's sitting in his big throne, his little lazy boy, minding his business, he still took up all the space in the room. Now, imagine if I had grown up with that man, I would be serving a king baby myself. Fortunately, I was raised by a single mom who centered her children and her female friends who were all single moms too. And, you know, I'd like to say she centered herself, but having kids, that's really hard to do. But she centered herself more than she ever would have been able to if she'd had a man in the house. Because so many of these men are just an additional child in terms of their mentality, but because they have money and power and an enormous body that can unalive you and lots of unhealed trauma, they are so much more exhausting than all the kids put together. And they are a danger to the woman and her whole family, the whole family. And even if they never lift a finger, you know, in terms of, I mean, they're not going to lift a finger in terms of cleaning or help, but even if they never lay a hand on anyone in that family, never physically cause harm, them just doing nothing and being this entitled prick who sits in his chair in his little throne and is just the king baby of the house, that man is going to influence every single one of those kids and the decisions they make in their relationships, and not in a good way, because it's going to be normalized to them that women serve men, that women and everybody walks around entitled, dangerous, scary, angry men. And it may not even be, you know, like even if they have sons, the son may either end up being a king baby or dating like a female narcissist who, you know, emotionally abuses him. But like in any scenario, it's, unless they do a ton, like tons of therapy themselves, they're going to end up just like one of y'all, either the king baby or the little codependent person enabling that king baby. You're not doing your kids favor. Kids notice everything. Yeah, do people not remember what it's like to be a kid? I had a thermometer up the butt of my dad at all times. I didn't know that that's codependency or enmeshment. I didn't know the language for this stuff, but I knew what was going on with him more than I ever knew what was going on with myself. And that set me up to have relationships just like that for the rest of my life. Or to go the opposite way, which is what I did for most of my adult life, which is just cut people off, be a lone wolf, not let anyone in here because I was so afraid of losing myself. And even though I was raised by, most of the time, I was around a single mom, taught me so much invaluable stuff by not dating another man. She refused to date. She didn't bring another man into our home. She admitted later on that it was too risky. And I so respect that. She centered us and her own safety, and I will forever be grateful to her for that. And yet, still, I ended up in a violent relationship. I ended up dating a man just like my dad, and I only saw him 4 days a month. I mean, my dad was never physically violent, but I dated a man who was physically violent and almost me. So I'm telling y'all, if you are not in a position where you cannot leave, please, I promise you, these men are slowly unaliving you through your nervous system. They're also impacting your children's nervous system. You're also role modeling terrible relationships. That's all they're going to know. And, when it comes to finances, do you have any idea how much money you lose when you date a man like that or marry a man like that and live with a man like that? I don't care how much money they are bringing in. The amount of money you lose in the long term in terms of all your health problems, all your confidence, any career opportunities, because when you hate yourself because being with this person chips away at your dignity every single day, how valuable do you think that you're going to see yourself? Do you think that you're going to go for that job you've always wanted, that dream you've ever wanted? Do you think, you know what I mean? All that trauma, all that nervous system crap is going to have such a huge consequence, and it is financial too. So people all the time are like, yeah, but I can't, then this in this house, live with another single mom. I don't know. Get creative. Please don't lose hope. They have mommunes now. Again, I'm never going to tell people that, you have to do anything, but I am saying that a lot of women, and even, myself included, when I was in that domestic violence situation, so underestimated the long-term impact it was going to have on me. That thing was like 10 years ago. I still have nightmares. Now I have to get EMDR. I still have intrusive memory. I still lose my crap. I have PTSD episodes where I have to wear I get triggered all the time because of that one man. And I didn't have kids with him. I wasn't even married to him. I only knew that man for 10 months. And I am still cleaning up the wreckage of that relationship. And my husband is also having secondhand trauma as a result of that man. Because guess who I project all of it onto when I get triggered. So please, y'all, don't think you're just going to wait it out and stay for the children. Don't blame your children. Don't put this on them. If you're staying because you don't have the confidence and this self-esteem and the self-love enough to leave, just own that. Or if you're so afraid of being alone, own that. But please don't tell yourself you're staying for the children. If you could actually leave, but you won't, and this person is not adding true value to their lives, they're showing your kids a little preview of what their future holds. Is that what you want for them? I hope not. They deserve better, and so do you.